to something new. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, estimates that Africa loses as much as $60 billion each year in illicit financial flows. But there is good news. A new report released late last week reveals that African countries have generated 1.7 billion euros in additional revenues from tackling tax evasion and illicit financial monies. And that report, co-produced by the Global Forum on Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes, the African Union Commission, the FDB Group, and others, was unveiled at the 13th meeting of the Africa Initiative in Cape Town, South Africa. Now, drilling into that report for me now is Zayda Manatta. She is the head of the Global Forum Secretariat. She's in Cape Town tonight. Great having you on the show, madam. It's a bright and early Monday evening. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm good. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you're excited about this report. I'm excited as well. We're excited here, the rest of my team. How much progress are we making in Sub-Saharan Africa in tackling illicit financial flows and tax evasion?
Well, we are very happy to have launched this report. Now this report has been launched every year since I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. Every year we take stock of the progress made. And for this time, for the first year, we have African countries reporting having collected more than 75 million of euros in one single year. And it's also the first time that we have African countries reporting having collected more than 10 million of euros due to automatic exchange of financial account information. So this is good news. The figures that you have mentioned, they are really thrilling, and we are happy to see African countries making that good progress.
I am happy as well as an African. But tell me, Zayda, what level of commitments to further cooperation with the Global Forum and other international agencies are you seeing across Africa right now? Because the OECD report says $60 billion US. We've just raked in $1.7 billion. There's still so much more money out there.
Yes, indeed. I think we are making good progress, but there is still a long, long way to go. African countries are not yet reaping all the benefits they could from tax transparency and the standards on exchange of information. But the good news is they are making the good move. They are moving the right direction, and we have a lot of support. We have the support of Ministers of Finance. We have the support of the African Union Commissioner, and we have the support of several international organizations and donors. So I think we are moving well. The African countries are putting in place the appropriate infrastructure to really use the standards of automatic exchange of information and exchange of information on request. However, not all African countries are using them as they should. Some are using more, some are still at the first step to do it. But I'm happy to also mention that in the last year, we had 4 new African countries joining the Global Forum and the Africa Initiative. So this is good progress. We see more and more African countries joining this fight against illicit financial flows, especially tax evasion. And this is the good news.
That's the good news. One good news on this side of the continent is that Nigeria has just announced a presidential committee to review the country's basket of tax legislations. What would you like to see the committee achieve, Zayda?
I must say that Nigeria is one of the 5 African countries that have started exchanging information automatically on the financial accounts of its residents that are held abroad. So this is something that must be stated up front. On the last report of exchange of information on request of Nigeria, there is one point that must be addressed, and I think I would very much appreciate to see the committee addressing it, which is the beneficial ownership information. This is a shortcoming of Nigeria's review on exchange of information on request, and it's to ensure that in all circumstances, beneficial ownership information is available. And I must refer specifically to trusts and cooperative societies. So that's what I really would appreciate to see this committee focusing on.
Why do you think, well, what further support is the OECD, the Global Forum, providing partners in Sub-Saharan Africa in tackling tax evasion, illicit financial flows? And I'm sure tax transparency is very crucial to development of the continent. We need every penny on the table.
Not only the OECD and the Global Forum, but all the partners, I mean, ATAF, CREDAF, CATA, etc. So we are all joining our efforts to provide trainings for African countries, capacity building, meaning helping them address legislation shortcomings, addressing organizational issues, and also making them understand that, making tax auditors and investigators understand how they could really use these tools to address the issues of tax evasions. I also would like to highlight that we have more and more African countries signing the Yaoundé Declaration, and this is the result of understanding of the decision makers understanding the importance of tax transparency to the fight against illicit financial flows. I think there is a huge effort not only in providing capacity building, but also in raising political awareness. And we count very much on the Africa Union Commissioner and the African Development Banks, for example, as key partners that can help us echo this message and provide really strong call for African countries to make better use of the transparency standards.
Oh, do have a pleasant evening. Zayda Manatta, who is the head of the Global Forum Secretariat in Cape Town tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And we congratulate you for this new report your office just released. Thank you. Alongside your partners. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.